Alright, so ready for duel reported on a remote duel that happened underneath the new format. First list we're going to be covering today is Oscar Espinoza's new Burning Abyss Phantom Knight. Now, when you look at this deck, people have been talking about wanting to play Rusty to go into the true King of all calamities on the opponent's turn. I think it's cute for the most part. I'm not so sure how this is going to, work out. Also, you can see here that Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is kind of part of the whole package here. So, Phantom Knight Burning Abyss is back in full swing. So, we have one copy of Barbar, one copy of the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Interesting. I guess this does act as an extender for the deck. That way we can combo up easier. One copy of Calcab, two copies of Seer, one copy of the Edge Jump Sabers. Basically getting to special summon this back is your primary prerogative with this, to act as an extender. Triple copies of Effect Veiler, because good hand trap. Two copies of Farfa. Three's kind of meh, honestly, in terms of development for the metagame. Two is what I would stick with. Two copies of Fiendish Rhino Boy. Two copies of Graf. One copy of Libic. One copy of the Psychic Tracker. The one Psychic Wielder. With triple copies of Skarm. One copy of the Sea Archiver. Just another extender for this deck. Honestly, that's the main thing we care about here. Then we have two copies of Ancient Cloak. One copy of Ragged Gloves. And triple copies of Silent Boots. Along with, but of course, the new addition to the deck, the triple copies of Tour Guide from the Underworld, with one copy of the White Dragon Wyvern Buster. And then we have a couple bricks, one Dark Magician and one Red Eyes Black Dragon. Spells, we have one Foolish Barrel, two copies of Droplet with the one Red Eyes Fusion. I do find two Droplets to be very interesting, but we do have to make room for traps in the deck, because we do want to be able to do our Phantom Knight play, So we have triple copies of Imperm, triple copies of Fogblade, two additional negates is really good. Then we have one copy of the Shade Brigade. Alright, what makes the world go round? Rusty Tin Can. The ability to spot removal, get double Fogblade on the field, set up for just everything. This card is everything that we wanted in life and more. We have one Celine, one Verte Anaconda, one Unicorn with one Phoenix, one AP Masquerena, one Holly Fibrax, one Cherubini. This is also kind of icing on the cake now. This deck now gets to fully abuse Cherubini, which, we have one copy of Axis Code Talker, one Break Sword, one Levier, two copies of Dante, one Beatrice, and one Red Eyes Dragoon. Even with this list, we don't want to maximize on the amount of Dantes. It's not quite as good. Alright, so side deck. We have two Nibiru, one Dragastapelia. There's our third droplet. Two copies of Super Poly. I do like what we were doing for this, especially if, our boy here becomes more of an issue. You can go ahead and basically do this. And if they end on a dark and this, hey, free Super Poly fodder. Triple copies of Twin Twister, triple copies of Evenly Matched, one copy of Imperial Order, and two copies of Solemn Johnson, wrapping up a very interesting third place list for everybody. Now, next up is Amaya Chicleto's second place list from this same tournament. Now, interesting enough, Adamancipator's dead. They killed Black Dragon. Now, this deck can still combo off like it's its job, alright? Now we got some bricks in the main deck. We're just not relying on Block Dragon as much at this point. Okay, so I think that's very important. You can still do a lot of your key plays that you can do. Gallant Granite still exist. So, alright, so we have triple copies of Analyzer, triple copies of Researcher, and triple copies of Seeker. And then we have two copies of Doki Doki, just to act as a generic extender / starter for the deck. One copy of the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, because locking the opponent's really good. One copy of Mr. Gate Blocker. 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, 1 copy of Gigantus, triple copies of the Quackimera Guardian, and then we have one little Sandman here. This is the one that will negate trap cards for you, so you don't have to worry about getting impermed. And then we're on the 2 Spideys. Alright, so extenders are good for the deck. 2 copies of Nibiru. Ah, hey, look, it's the replacement for our friend Olion and Mr. Jet Synchron. So we're playing the 1 Plague Spreader. 1 copy of the Revival Golem. 1 copy of the Tackle Crusader. Triple copies of Adahara. 1 copy of the Weeping Idol. Probably the best extender that we've got going on for the deck. 2 copies of our Bricks. 1 Foolish Barrel. 1 Feather Duster. Then we have 2 copies of the Miracle Rupture. Send a level 4 lower rock monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's it. That's what we care about. Alright, so Foolish Burial. We have 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Red Ice Fusion, 2 TTT, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up the main deck here. Extra deck down here, we have 1 Union Carrier, 1 Reverte Anaconda, 1 copy of Link Ross, and 1 Unicorn, 1 Alley Vibrex, 1 copy of the Appaloosie, 1 Axis Code Talker, 1 Gallon Granite, with the 1 Omega, the 1 Martial Metal, the 1 Herald, 1 Borreload Savage, 1 copy of Repite, 1 Dragite, and 1 Mr. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon himself. Side deck here in full swing. We have 1 Pinkertops, 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies of Forbidden Chalice, 2 copies of Twin Twister, 2 copies of the Anti-Smell Fragrance, 2 Evenly Matched, 1 Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Johnson, wrapping up the main deck here. Solemn's being everywhere, honestly, in side decks. It's very interesting. Also, interested to see the inclusion of the Harpy's Feather Duster into the main deck. Also, 44 cards, expanding out on the life of rocks at this point. But no, honestly, rocks are very far from dead at this point. A lot of players are going to continue to see the development for this deck, and hopefully this will be a nice little place to kind of start your strategy as we are heading on into the new format here. And then the first place list, dun 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 dun, it's Chaos Thunder. This was piloted by Wader Thunder God, all right, for this remote duel tournament. So we're back to triple copies of Aloof Lupine, 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, only 1 Battery Man Solar. Solar's value is not as good as it once was. The card is still good in its own right, but it's very interesting to see that it's kind of poking its head at 1 still. 1 Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, 1 Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, 1 Chaos Valkyrie being a generic extender, triple copies of Gamma, but of course, best hand trap, right? 1 Mr. Chaos Creator, triple copies of Thunder Dragon, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Dark, 1 Mr. Dragon Duo with 1 Dragonhawk. Only 2 Matrixes, by the way. In terms of ratios, I feel this. 3 sometimes can be cloggy. The only real time you want it is like if the game is going a little bit longer. So I get at this point why you would want to push for 2. Triple copies of Dragon Roar, 1 Wyvern Buster, and 1 Brick. Alright, spells. Triple Lore Darkness, triple copies of Chaos Space, 1 Emergency Teleport, 1 Gold Stark, and triple copies of Thunder Dragon Fusion, with 2 copies of Infinite Permanence, wrapping up the main deck here. Extra deck, we have 1 Verte Anaconda, 1 Link Cross, 1 Nightmare Unicorn with 1 Phoenix, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Ally Fibrax with 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Boral Sword with 1 Appaloosa, 1 copy of Martial Metal, 1 copy Herald, 1 Mr. Chaos Ruler, 1 copy of Dragite, and 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Titan. Side deck here, we have 1 Scythe, because this card is bonkers, 1 Pinkertops, 2 Nibiru, 1 Chimeraphlasia, in case we get into the cool matchup where we have to go search for our fusions. Thank you, Dogmatica. 1 Dagda, triple copies of Dark Will No More, triple copies of Super Poly, 2 copies of Twin Twister, and 1 copy of Red Reboot, wrapping up the remote duel tournament results for this under new list. Just a nice little beginning take at what's to come here. Guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about these deck lists. And well, guys, I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.